Well, my wife said that they were saving the best for last, honey, so don't worry, but apparently Robin must have told John that too. Anyways, thank you. It's really, truly a pleasure to be here tonight. I will keep my remarks to less than 3 minutes because I've always prided myself through my whole career of doing more listening than talking. And I think that's important, especially in my position, where you're out in the community and you're listening to people and what their concerns are relative to their safety and what's going on. I became a candidate for this race for 2 reasons. I care deeply about my community that I live in and have lived in my whole life. And I care deeply about the profession that I'm a part of, law enforcement. And that's been for almost 40 years now. That's all I've ever done since I was 24 years old when I became a young police officer with the village of North Syracuse. And actually, the office that I'm seeking, I can say I know something about that office because I worked there for 24 years. Not just working there in one position, but I started out as a young deputy actually working the North Syracuse area, and through the 24 years came up through the ranks and worked every shift, and worked as a drug investigator, and worked as a road patrol deputy, and worked in charge of the warrants unit. Every assignment I had in that department, I went on to become a supervisor in that department, which I think is important as well. And after 24 years as a captain of investigations, which I still am very proud to say, I think it's a job of great responsibility. I wanted to continue my career. I wanted to be a leader in law enforcement. And thanks to the wonderful people in the town of DeWitt, I was hired by them to be their police chief. And that really has brought me to where I am today. Because for the last 12 years, with the support of the town of DeWitt, I've been able to be a leader of a law enforcement agency. And now obviously is what I consider to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for someone who's in law enforcement to now seek the office of Sheriff of Onondaga County. I just want you to know, I love going to work every day. And I know a lot of people may not be able to say that, but I can, and I believe it. And I can promise you, I will bring new leadership, fresh, creative ideas to the challenges that we in law enforcement face, and I will bring really endless enthusiasm to getting the job done. There are a lot of men and women in that department that put their lives on the line every single day. I will be there for them. I will be there for you so that you are safe in your home, at work, and in your travels throughout Onondaga County. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you. Dean John Katko.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you. Most of the people I look out here I know. Some I've known for a long time, but most of you have gotten to know since I joined this race in January. It's really been an honor to talk to all of you. And it's kind of poetic as we get towards the end of the race that I'm coming back to the beginning where a lot of you people gave me my start. You're on the committees, you nominated me, and I want to thank you all very much. So first of all, for those who passed petitions on my behalf, could you please just stand up for a second? Thank you very much, all of you. Now, briefly, for those who don't know me, I'm a 20-year federal prosecutor, and I have 3 teenage boys, and I have a tag in my shoe from Mark Mangiacaro. And I absolutely love my job as a federal prosecutor. I was involved in organized crime cases, political corruption cases. I prosecuted corrupt mayors. I prosecuted corrupt police officers. I've prosecuted organized crime cases of all kinds. And I'm most proud of the work I've done with the Syracuse Gang Violence Task Force. Gene had a part in that at one point, and he knows that we saved a lot of lives by just keeping the gang stuff in Syracuse under suppression. And we solved over 20 homicides in the process. So we've done a lot of good work, and I'm very proud of that. like I said, I have 3 teenage boys, 1 in college, and I'm 51 years old, and I can't retire until I'm 58 from the federal service. And I still decided to get into this race. And I got into this race because I'm very concerned about the future of our district up here and the future of New York State in general and the country in particular. We continue to see jobs go overseas. We continue to see jobs leave New York State. We continue to see our world standing slipping. And I just couldn't sit on the sidelines any longer and do nothing about it. So I decided to jump into the race. And since I got into the race, I've had a wonderful experience meeting people, but it really confirmed that what I'm doing is the right thing to do. Because the leader we have in this district, and I shouldn't say leader, the lack of leadership in this district is stunning. And what's happened over the last couple of months is probably the best indication of that. In July, we took our first baseline poll, and they kept telling me, John, brace yourself. If you're within 20 points of this guy, you should be very fortunate, and you're going to be in good shape. Well, we were within 7 points in our first poll, right? And everyone's like, wow. The telling point of that was his re-elect rate was 37%. That means only 37% of the people wanted him to be re-elected. And I don't understand all the numbers, but I understand that to be terrible. So he made a big splash in July saying, I'm going to, he bought $1 million worth of TV ads, maybe thinking he's going to intimidate me, and for September. When that poll came out, he moved it up to beginning of August. And from August all the way through early September, he had all these ads with lemonade stands and what have you, thinking it's going to show him as a softer side to him or whatever. But what was telling about those ads is nothing about his accomplishments, right? All right, nothing. And then came September, and he realized those ads weren't working. So since that point, he's tried to show that I hate women, okay? That I want to discriminate against women, that they shouldn't have contraception, that I'm a corrupt prosecutor, and I've always been a corrupt prosecutor. Despite the fact that 2 weeks ago, the Attorney General of the United States, a Democrat, gave me Prosecutor of the Year award in Washington, D.C. We've taken the high road with this election, and we've taken positive commercials, positive messages, and it's working because we took our second poll last week, and it's a dead heat. So what it's showing is that women are smarter than he thinks, because we gained 10 points with women, he lost 10 points with women because people aren't stupid. And they're offended that they think you can manipulate women with this warn women garbage and think that they're going to buy it. They know better than that. And Melody, you're right. I have 5 sisters, and I have a very strong wife. They're business women. They're professionals. They're in the medical field. They are teachers, and they're moms. There's no way I'd still be alive right now if I was doing the things that they said I was doing. One thing for sure is that we have to address some of these issues, and we were trying to think of a way to do it. Like, who's somebody that's really credible? Who's somebody that you can just look at and ooze credibility and just ooze they're a nice person, you can listen to them. I saw the commercial today. It's my wife, Robin. And I want to say she's one of those people who doesn't like the limelight, just like me, and she's just a truly wonderful person. We've been together since she was 17 years old and I was 18, and the commercial, if you've seen it, how many people have seen the commercial today? It's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. And it cuts through all the garbage, and that's the kind of campaign we're going to continue to run. And we're going to just point out the differences between ourselves and Mr. Maffei, but not in the terrible way you see in all these ads. And I'm not going to go out and tear him down. We're just going to have fact checks. And the fact checks, for example, I don't know if anybody's known this. He's run for he's been in Congress for the last 6 years. He hasn't had one bill that he's authored passed ever. Isn't that amazing when you think about it? So no wonder he's on the attack. He has nothing to speak of for his accomplishments. So somebody in my office told me this. They said, John, he's at a 37% re-elect rate still. So his own goal is, he knows he can't build himself up. So his whole goal is going to be to try to destroy you. So as far as I'm going to say is bring it on, because we're not going to be destroyed. There's just no way. And when you really look at the polls, we're probably much farther ahead than we realize, but we're going to keep working hard every single day. We're excited because you know what? Central New York lost 3,100 jobs last year. Okay, and they've been bleeding jobs since he went into office in 2008. We've lost thousands of manufacturing jobs since he first started as a congressman. He doesn't want to talk about that, but you know what? I've got a plan to turn that around. I've got a 7-point economic plan. Go to my website and check it out. It's actually there, and you can see it. I've got a plan. I've got plans for veterans. I've got plans for other things, and I'm going to keep pushing that. And he doesn't want you to hear that. He wants me to be on the defense. Well, guess what? I can handle this. I've had death threats my whole life, dealing with gangs and prosecutors, so I'm not worried about gangs. So I'm not worried about that. What I'm telling you is, I'm going to fight to the finish, and I need everybody in this room to fight for us as well. Okay? If every single person in this room called 10 people, think about it, look around here, called 10 people the day before the election and said, make sure you vote, and then call them on the day of election, did you vote? All right, think about what you would do, all right? That's that simple. That's what Get Out the Vote's about, and that's what we need to do up and down the line. We got great candidates here, and if you can do that, that would be wonderful. The last thing I'm going to say to you is one thing I have a dream of for 5 years from now. That when I come back here for this, there is a whole load of women up here running for office, not just men, okay? And it starts with you guys, all right? So tell that one to Dan Lefebvre. We're going to beat this guy, and we need all your help. It's time to get excited, and we're going to take back this seat, and we're going to take it back for people that live in Syracuse, not in Virginia, and that's the way it's going to be. So thank you all very much, and have a good night.
Thank you. John Katko, our next congressman for the 24th Congressional District. What did he say? Bring it on! Bring it on! Okay. As we close this evening, I just want to say on behalf of the Republican women of Central New York, again, we thank you for coming tonight. We thank you for being part of our meet and greet, and we thank all the candidates for coming and expressing themselves and letting us know exactly that we are in the party of right. We are members of the party of right. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank our committee members, Michelle Kane, Sue Ferretti, Patty Fidelli, Cheryl Javier, Bob Stratton, Rose Pichello, Donna Hamilton, Nancy Hamilton, and the woman I couldn't live without, who sends me little emails and send me love all the time, Mary Ellen Dineski.